This is Changemakers Circle on Click Niger online channel. Changemakers Circle is the program where we talk about how to bring out the best and optimize development professionals. And Changemakers Circle is being brought to you by Skill Hub Consulting, an organization that is set out for the development of development professionals and how to make their work better. And today on Changemakers Circle, we are going to be talking about how to show impact as an NGO or a civil society organization. So basically, we are talking about showing and telling. So you can call today's show Show and Tell. Our specific focus today is showcasing progress, reporting and documenting impact. And to do this with me, I have someone in the studio who I know is going to be interesting to speak with. He is Mr. Nura Nasir. Mr. Nura, nice to have you in our studio.
Thank you for having me.
Mr. Nura Nasir is a development enthusiast with 2 decades of experience. He is a systems thinker and a systems practitioner. He is a performance management specialist with excellent skills in management information systems, and he is a gender equality, social inclusion, and safeguarding champion. Wow, what an interesting mix, an interesting combination. Nice to have you in our studio. What's it all about to be a system thinker?
Okay, so systems thinking, I would say it's like a fairly, not entirely new concept. It's been around for decades now. But systems thinking, I would used to say that it's like the antidote to conventional thinking. So system thinking is thinking in systems, looking at systems holistically. So conventional thinking is usually, we said, is the type of thinking we are used to, a linear kind of thinking where we have a narrow thinking, a narrow look, instead of thinking of broader perspectives, right? Consider other people's perspective.
Let me start by asking, why is it important for CSOs to show the world what they are doing? Why is this important? Is it not enough for them to just do what they are doing? Why do they have to show what they do?
All right, yeah, that's a quite interesting question. I would say now more than ever is when CSOs and NGOs need to show the evidence of their value, their effectiveness to their funders, to their stakeholders, and the program, the communities, the program beneficiaries. That's because why I said now more than ever, because now CSOs and NGOs are operating in a resource constraint set correctly. The development space, the development sector is the funding is dwindling. The sector is shrinking. So again, now more than ever is when they need to demonstrate their relevance, their value, their effectiveness, in order to remain sustainable.
Okay, so what are some of the clear, simple ways that CSOs can show evidence of their work and the impact of what they do or the difference that they are making?
Each NGO or CSO needs to have a system that can document the impact they are making. And part of that system is, of course, the human resource with the requisite skill set. But most importantly, the mindset, especially from the leadership, to document
the work and the impact of what they do or the difference that they are making.
Each NGO or CSO needs to have a system that can document the impact they are making. And part of that system is, of course, the human resource with the requisite skill set. But most importantly, the mindset, especially from the leadership, to document lessons, to generate learning, and ultimately to share with the audience. So they need a system. I used to call them building blocks. So you have to have the capacity to generate the information. You have to have the capacity to process it, to utilize it, uh, to prove to your stakeholders, again, the funders, the government, and the community, and also use that knowledge that you generate to improve on what you're doing.
Okay. So is this just all about documenting your work and your impact or successes? Is that just what this is all about?
Well, yes, but it's bigger than that. It's broader. So, for example, if you are generating knowledge and information, you need to. It needs to, if when you are disseminating, it needs to be audience centered. So it's beyond just document, right? So you need to share with your stakeholders, and the way you share your information, the way you communicate your impact, it should be audience centered, depending on the audience you are showcasing your impact to. If you are communicating, if you're reporting to your funder, they want to hear about return on investment, scalability, how scalable, replicability of that intervention you are conducting elsewhere. That is the kind of impact that your funder wants to hear. If you are talking to the government, for example, they want to see, okay, what you are doing as a CSO or NGO aligns with the government priority and plans. If you are talking to the community, you need to come down to their level, document success stories on their lived realities. So depending on the audience you're dealing with. So yeah, like you said, it's beyond just documenting. It's all about really sharing the learning, the impact, and the changes you are making in people's lives.
Okay, so it means that that is literally determined by um, where that information is going to be shared.
Absolutely.
Okay. So how what role, where does sharing this information with the general public or the media now, where does it come in?
Okay, the general public, yeah, a lot of platforms nowadays, the mainstream, media, the social media, again, depending on your target audience. But if you are going on social media, the assumption is okay, you're sharing with with the general public, right? So it's going to be a blend, of course. So you show your effectiveness, um, scalability, what worked in, because most projects are implemented in a small geographic location. They are tested, there are models to be tested. So, but you now document. But if you are actually communicating to the general audience, I think human interest stories, how you are touching lives, how you are, so testimonials. So, for example, your intervention is building capacity of health workers, for example. Um, it's not enough to say you have trained health workers, but if you can come up with a story, a documentary that says, so based on the training, we have some of our health workers working in the rural community now, they can accept delivery, child delivery, where they're saving the life of the mother and the child. So you make that documentation. So this is the kind of story, impact stories that you share with the general public.
It looks simple, but it can really be kind of intricate, you know.
Yeah. So yes, exactly. And so that's where now you need, like I said, you need that system in place to be able to generate, uh, to document your successes. So you have to go out there looking for human interest stories, impact stories. There are ways to do that, like outcome harvesting. You go there, you already seen the outcome, and now retrospectively you try to see how did your intervention as a CSO NGO, how did it contribute to that, a contribution analysis. You ask maybe beneficiaries what their most significant change, for example, from participating, from benefiting in the intervention you are delivering. So yeah, you have to be intentional. And again, I say you have to have the resources, you have to have the system in place to be able to generate and communicate your input.
So back to that system thinking we talked about at the beginning, isn't it?
Yes.
But what are some of the common mistakes that CSOs make in trying to talk about their impact and yeah, and what they do? What are some of the mistakes they make?
Okay, or perhaps maybe some pitfalls.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, for you, whatever you are communicating has to be credible, right? So the communication itself is some form of accountability. And so if what you are communicating has credibility, right? And that's why the sort of human interest stories, testimonials from program beneficiaries, right? So one of the common mistakes I think that I see CSOs or NGOs do in telling their stories, I will not say it's a mistake. It's their tendency to be so overwhelmed by the program delivery itself, not focusing on documenting the impact. Yes,
Okay.
I can see that. I've seen that quite often because projects are designed, especially donor-funded projects, they are designed to hit a target. So their eyes is always on the target, the implementers, the CSOs now, and the staff. Their eyes always, and so there's a tendency sometimes they are missing out on some of the impact. Again, that's why I say they have to be intentional, they have to be deliberate, they have to get the resources to be able to document and share their impact stories.
Okay. So in talking about documentation, what are the things that CSOs should include when they are reporting their progress in order to make it clear and convincing?
Okay, I would say one of that is use the storytelling. Again, I would still go back to there's nothing more convincing than having testimonials from program beneficiaries doing a documentary, going out there. There are then you could do infographics. It's quite appealing nowadays. Digital storytelling. They are all quite appealing and to the general audience. So yeah, there are several platforms because not to be honest, not everybody has the time to read like 20, 30 page report.
Reports.
So yeah, that's why like infographics, digital storytelling uh, are quite useful.
Okay. Okay. Now, in terms of the area of research for CSOs, are there new trends that CSOs need to take note of or be mindful of?
Okay, so yeah, generally research is all about quest for new knowledge or to
Mhm.
validate existing knowledge. So I think I would say it's just to continue to have the mindset of that inquisitive mindset of trying to advance knowledge or to find out why things happening and why the things that are happening, why are they happening and when. So whatever your focus area is, um, need to be on that constantly on that quest for validating the existing knowledge or a quest for a new knowledge, being objective, being uh, ready to find out about unanticipated outcomes, both negative and positive. You have to have that open mind uh, when you do research or evaluation of your intervention as a CSO or an NGO.
Okay. So now you talked a lot about beneficiaries and the successes basically, but we also know that NGOs do have challenges. What should NGOs do with the challenges? Should they just report the um, successes and all the people who have benefited, how should challenges be um, communicated as well? Is it important to
So,
include this?
so I personally, at the risk of sounding maybe negative, I always look for challenge. I ask for challenges upfront. Really, yeah, successes most times it's easy to achieve success, but okay, what challenges do we need to be aware of, and how do we mitigate them? So in reporting to the donor or the general public, yeah, it's important that CSOs report the challenges they are facing, because every challenge is an opportunity also. If you document it, it's a lesson that
Hmm.
can be learned. If you as an organization and other CSOs in the development space. So yeah, the communicating challenges is key, but most importantly, especially if you're communicating with your funders, they want to know, okay, what have you done to mitigate some of those challenges, and so you continue to monitor them. Uh, in project management, there's management as part of it. Already, you identified your risk.
So I want you to share some CSOs or some NGOs that have done a great job with showing and telling and the entire, documenting and showing their impact or the impact of their work that you feel other CSOs can take a cue from or that we can use as a reference or an example.
Sure. So there are quite a number. We have both local and international, but I'll talk about some of the prominent local NGOs that we have. I will take the Society for Family Health, for example. That's the implementing about close to 30 different projects in different thematic areas. Um, and that showcase a lot of impact stories, human interest stories in the various sectors uh, where they work in. Um, Adolescent sexual and reproductive health, maternal and newborn and child health, pediatric HIV. So they've done quite an extensive documentary that interests the general public, the donor community, and the government alike.
So it means, therefore, that if organizations want to achieve sustainability, they really need to put in place their record keeping and their impact showing.
Absolutely. It's very essential. Um, like I said at the beginning, uh, knowledge information sharing is part of accountability, right? So you are accountable for the funders, for the government you are working under, for the people that you are working with. So without documenting your impact and communicating your impact, I think that that part is missing. It's a huge gap.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nura, for your time on the program Changemakers Circle. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
Well, today on Changemakers Circle, we talked about documenting your impact as an NGO. And today we spoke with Mr. Nura Nasir. He is a development enthusiast for many years, and he is a system thinker. And of course, he has brought to us the entire thing about thinking systems, and showing our impact and including that in our systems as organizations. Changemaker Circle is being brought to you by Skill Hub Consulting, an organization that is set out to bring out the best in development practitioners in Nigeria and around the world. Till we come your way next time, my name is Ehi Ohiani. Bye for now.